that the people are here. I would guess that the people are here are able to figure out that they can get the link to the Zoom by going to the convention website. But the email that reminded people that there's a Zoom meeting now should have said that, I think, in the email. Otherwise, people might not know.
Okay.
I think that might explain why some people are not here, because they're just relying on the email reminder that they got yesterday and the email invitation that they got on April the 5th. But neither of those communications said if you want to join the Zoom, you have to go to the registration page.
I actually did not get the email. I knew about the Zoom, the registration page, but I did not get any email announcing the Zoom meeting for today.
Oh, well, good to know. We will follow up on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Robin, because I know you've already paid and you should.
Right.
You've
And
signed up.
Lori's got my email. Yeah, Lori's
you
got
get
my
the
email and
newsletter?
everything.
Did you get the newsletter?
No,
You didn't
I'm
get
not getting any emails about this trip at all.
Oh my gosh, because the newsletter, the April newsletter is out. I think I was going to do April, June, and August, but maybe I'll send it out every month.
Mhm.
You have a couple different emails that you use, Robin, or do you have a specific only one?
No, just one.
Have you check your spam box just to be on?
Okay.
Just to double
Yeah.
check.
Yeah,
It's a
'cause
kind
I
of a
know
mass,
Okay.
a mass
I know-
email, so your email might be set up to dump those things off if it
Let's
thinks.
see.
That's why, yeah, the email has to
Um,
be distributed via BCC as opposed to, because a lot of servers will, if they see a lot of people, they think it's spam and they just send it to spam. So that's why
Okay,
email addresses have to be in a BCC line.
sure. I don't have anything in my spam.
Okay, all right, well.
Just
I'll
send a
make sure
note
you
off
get
to
it.
Lori just to confirm your email address and just make sure she has
I will.
just to confirm it.
And
Okay.
I'll send it to you,
And
Robin.
so Dee, you're the one that's sending out all the emails?
No, Lori
No,
is.
me.
Oh, Lori.
Me.
Oh, Lori. Okay. Okay.
So isn't
Yeah,
it
Lori.
Robin's Nest? It is Robin's Nest, right?
00.
Yeah.
There's two
That's
zeros.
interesting. You didn't get the registration one then either.
No.
Okay.
No, because I think I saw it on brand that registration
Okay.
was open. So I went to the link in the
Okay.
website and did it from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put that same thing on Boomers as well, same
Okay.
information.
So yeah, just make sure it has the 2 zeros. At the end. It's Robin's Nest 00 at gmail.com.
All right, but I'll get you the newsletter as well.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Don't hesitate to ask.
As I look around the group, most of you have already registered, so thank you for that. I know a couple of you took advantage of the payment plan as well. So I'm sure Lori will send you out reminders for payment 2 as well as payment 3, right, Lori?
I can.
I mean, okay.
I don't have access to that information. I haven't been able to see the registration, so I don't know who's paid.
No, I
what.
just sent you another email with the link, so you're fine.
Okay.
And then I put
Okay.
the amount on the side so you'll know. So that's we'll make sure that those of you who did the payment thing.
Well,
That's
I will do a newsletter again in May. I think I just do it monthly now. It makes sense just to send it monthly instead of bi-monthly.
And I'll double check. I'm pretty sure I saw it, but send it to me again, Dee, and I can make it a PDF and I can add it to the website as well.
It was a PDF already, and
it was or was not? It was?
Yeah.
Okay,
It
just
was when
send
I
it to
sent
me
out.
again, and then I'll just upload it to the website, so it'll be on that same
I will do that.
page, and then that way it'll all be together, which is good. All right, so that answers that. Couple of you that did sign up and register, I just wanted to mention, even if you sign up for 2 people, we still need 2 different registration forms, just to, especially because if you have a special dietary needs, or even just so we know as far as the name you want and the name tag. I know it seems easy because it's husband, wife, and things like that, but it'll kind of help us with our paperwork a little bit easier if we have individual ones. So, Joe, I think you're already taking, or Gary, I'm sorry, Gary, we were already taken care of with you and Skip, so that's fine.
And then Robin had
Robin, you had
husband.
your
Yeah.
husband, and
Yeah.
Monica. I don't know if Monica Pluto is here, but she and her husband also.
Good.
So
Okay.
I just want to be
Okay.
sure, because I know it said diabetic, but I don't know if that's for both or for one, and so it just makes our accounting a little bit easier if we can, and if you need the link to the registration, because that pops up when you actually pay, and then it'll send you to a registration form, and then it,
There's 2 people in the waiting room.
oh no, I'm getting there. Don't beat me. I'll work cheap, D. I'm doing this. Okay, so again, the deadline as far as registration is when? Do you know off the top of your head, D?
Yeah, August 15th. I think
Okay.
it's in August.
Okay.
Plenty of time,
So
but
just make sure you make a note of that.
yeah,
'cause,
it's in
yeah,
the
because-
newsletter. Again, I should probably pull a newsletter up on a separate screen.
What is the
I'm
deadline
limited. I don't
for?
have my dual monitor, so I'd have that normally up, but I've had computer
Mhm.
problems, so I only have one monitor right now, so.
What is the deadline for the refund in case you have to cancel out?
For the hotel, it's 2 days before.
Yeah.
And for us, it is, I think it's the August 15th, because we have to pay the money for the banquet. We have to pay that
Okay,
prior. So,
thank you.
We're not going to entertain that idea, Robin.
Yeah.
I understand.
I know,
I
but,
understand. I know,
life
we're
happens.
still,
Life
we
happens.
could
Not
have
as-
some iffy situations coming up,
Yeah.
so I'm just playing it by ear at this point.
Totally understand.
Josie's got her new shirt already. We're going to make her do merch. Sell us some merch or Adam's shirt.
Ah,
Hi, Josie. Hi, Jean.
Oh, Jean's here in the house. Hey, Jean.
Hi,
Um,
Monad. Hi, Monad.
So again, if you can register as quickly as possible, that helps us out with the count. I think right now we're at 14 that have officially signed up and registered.
Right.
So if you could do that, that'd be great. Otherwise, you can't attend the banquets, and we really need the account for the banquet.
But again, we have until August to, before I have to give that and pay that ahead.
Let's see what else. Where are we at as far as events? Is there a date when you want to start coordinating, getting people to sign up for different events like the MS Dixie or the train ride or any of that stuff? How do you and Lori work that in the past?
Well, our last group, the last is for the 60th. We could wait pretty much. I think we had the reservation for the Dixie Inn because that sells out, and the train especially sells out. So those are the ones that we will, ask for, commitment on sooner, but not until summer. We're not there yet. We're still in April. Still snowing out, evidently. So, yeah, tourist season doesn't really start until May 31 around here. So,
Oh, okay. So we'll take a note. So if anybody's just be thinking and brainstorming. I did update the web page that has all the list of events with links. So if you want to go and check out what you might be interested in going to or prioritize what you would like to attend. I mean, obviously would love if you could do everything, but there's only so much time in the days, but also if you're coming earlier or staying later, that works too. To the folks that have signed up and registered, thank you for filling out whether you can help with some of the transportation. That will be really helpful, and we'll obviously let you know as far as that's concerned as we get closer and figure out which events everybody's kind of signing up for.
and in the newsletter, I apologize for those of you who haven't received it yet, but I'll make sure we get that sent out again today. And yeah, do that. But I've been including a lot of information for people who are maybe either coming in earlier or staying later, of other things in the area that you can do and how to get there and things like that. So I'll continue to do that because there's a long list of possibilities, if you're particularly interested in history and things like that. So
I'm one in particular. I'm going to be there Wednesday to like the following Tuesday. So
Yeah.
there probably will be some outside places to go. So if people
Yep.
are,
and there's stuff within the area. I mean, and then a little bit of a drive, depending if you have access to a car.
Yeah.
But we can, work that out. But I wanted people to start planning their itineraries and what they want to do. And, people that have been here a lot know some of the things, but there's some new things that have opened up, and, like the Indian school right in Carson, which is really nice. The Stewart Indian School.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
So there's good stuff there. And, in Virginia City, what used to be St. Can't remember the name, St. Mary's, had a longer name, hospital, the first hospital in Virginia City. And it's really fascinating. They have a great tour there, but the ledgers, the people being admitted, and they had to give there was their name and what country they were from and what their occupation was. And so, and served not just the miners. It was basically, hospital was built for the mines and stuff, but it served the whole community. So we have a really wonderful opportunity to look at, the different nationalities that were there, and the occupations. There were people that were maid or, in service someplace or whatever. It was fascinating to look at. And you can actually see it, it's right there. And, so that's kind of a fun thing to do. Now it's an art center. They've redone, the building is the same, the original stove, the original in the kitchen. The surgeries are now like conference rooms and stuff, but they've maintained all that, the historical aspects of it. So it's good place to go when you're in Virginia City.
Stephen, do you have any updates as far as if they're still considering doing a Bonanza Days or?
Yeah, I met with the director of the Virginia City Tourism Commission, Todd,
Mhm.
and he's just waiting to get permission to use the name and the likenesses of the characters, and then we'd schedule it on Saturday for Bonanza Days.
Okay. So that's the tentative plan right now. So
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Andy's, if you
Working
had
on
any,
that, working on it.
yeah, once Andy gets a approval that we can go ahead with that, then we'll get that scheduled. They'll pick everybody up if you come up on the train. We have a shuttle bus. They'll pick you up and bring you up to C Street, and we'll have a Bonanza Day celebration. And they're talking about maybe having a look-alike contest. Todd said they might even make a 3-scale model of the front of the house, so you can take your pictures in front of the Bonanza house. And then when you're up there, I'm the director of the Mark Twain Museum at the Territorial Enterprise Building, so we can give you all a tour of that. And it's quite something to see. It's in the basement of the building where the original printing presses were located, and they're all still there, and the typesetting boxes are there. And we'll have docents to explain everything. And given that, my dear friend McAvoy Lane, who is internationally known for over 30 years as Mark Twain, he would come and meet everyone at that event and give a talk. So
Glad to hear that.
it's
He's
a lot
retired and
of good
this-
possibilities.
Yeah.
Stephen's pulling all the stops, pulling him out of retirement, putting him back to work.
Yeah,
And
he's done some wonderful recent TV commercials.
Nice.
Yeah, I can send that out to everybody. You can have a look at it. He's the ghost of Mark Twain.
Yeah, I
So,
think he spoke at one of our conventions years ago, I
Yeah,
think.
2009.
Yeah, which is hilarious. And I
Yeah.
talked to my friend Squeak the other day. She's ready to play the Bonanza theme on piano at the Bucket of Blood. Wants to stop by.
yeah, she is amazing.
So if you have any requests, she's the piano lady. She will do the requests that you want. You want to sing along, even better.
Yeah, she's in the Guinness Book of World Records. So
I know. I'm the one who did her documentary, so I know that.
So,
So,
and
yeah.
thank you, Barb, for sending, or that you're going to be sending some pictures. I think you said, I found out that you were. Anybody has any items that they want to donate for the auction? Please, give me a call, or Lori or
Yeah.
Ginger, let us know.
Actually, I have some other things, some scripts and some things like that. So, but I'd like to ship them to you because it's a
Yes.
small box.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already got I did have like a big cart that I was putting stuff on, and I decided I'm going to have to set aside a big, a whole shelf unit in the garage that will become the Bonanza shelf. So as things come in, it can be organized and, you know, categorized and kept nice. And so I've got that going.
Great.
So thank you. One of the things that because this is a fan fest, and we want to celebrate our fans too, and we've lost many of our fans, and I was wondering what you thought about the idea of if we did like a collage or whatever, or just a list of names of people like Eva, Heike, and, you know, there's a lot of people that have passed since I've been involved with going to conventions since 2009. But before that, because the convention started, what, in 99, 2002, 2005, you know, there were several conventions, and I didn't know those people then. I mean, obviously, you guys are all still here, so I know you. But would you think that would be something appropriate, that that we celebrate the fans who have helped keep Bonanza alive and in some fashion or form? And if so, would you let us know who those people are?
What's the best way for them to email you a picture with, say,
If they have, yeah, a picture
like a
or
blurb,
just a name
name
or,
and-
you know, whatever. I mean, I do know some of the writers, you know, that because I've involved with the writing community, that we've loved, Susan Grote, you know, people, but we, you know, Lori and I were talking that it would be, this is a fan fest and we would like to celebrate our fans and the fans who have kept Bonanza alive. So if you know of people, please email me, post on Brand or Boomers or whatever, you know, so that we can collect that information. And if you have pictures from a convention or something like that, we would love to find a way to make that happen, even if it's just a digital thing that we can share with everybody else.
Okay.
Okay. We'd like to know any questions. Andy.
He had a question.
On the subject of donating items to the auction, what is the thought of donating individual season sets on DVD in light of the complete series box set being available? Is there nevertheless still an interest, you think, on the part of some people to, if not contribute to the auction for the charitable reasons, but contribute towards the goal of receiving specific season sets?
I think that absolutely would be of interest of people that want to complete. Maybe they've missed, you know, a season, that they want to have that. And I think people are already doing that. So,
Well, as organizer, I would hope and appreciate you saying that, but I wonder what
Yeah.
others think. If you already have the box set of the complete series, then what is the incentive to get an individual season set? I would argue that there is, because the real estate space is so sparse in the complete series box set that you don't have the details about individual episodes and production notes that you have on the individual season sets. And of course, the artwork is different. And if people might be interested in that, then I do have some that I could offer, but I just wondered what other people thought of that idea. Anyone?
I think it's a good idea. I have seasons 1 through 10, and I am thinking seriously of getting the full set. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do with the seasons I've got? So, you know, donate them somewhere, do something with them, find somebody who wants them. So if I get the full set, then I'd be willing to, you know, ship mine out and make those available.
Well, I appreciate
and
that,
or
but
something,
that,
if that's what you're
yeah,
talking about. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
not precisely, although I appreciate the offer under the circumstances. I'm asking if people would be interested in bidding on those items coincidentally, because I have
Mhm.
several of those items that I can donate.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
Okay.
appreciate you're making the offer to donate yours, but I think mine, no offense, would be more desirable because they're still shrink wrapped and unopened.
Mm. good point.
On
Okay,
open things, they're always collector item. Are you gonna autograph
yes.
Andy?
There you
I
go.
guess that's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We
Well,
had
that's
this
clarification,
discussion.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a discussion on this on brand. You know, why would people want to have, you know, I still have all the original ones I bought, you know, way back when to through the complete DVD series and I think the complete series, because of all the additional material and the extras in it, is what makes that really valuable. You know, to anybody who says, well, I already have seasons, you know, but you don't have all that extra material. So that's why, to me, it's worth it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And-
Uh, if I can, one of the things that I talked with Todd about is that at Piper's Opera House on the Bonanza Day weekend is having showing episodes. Like there is an episode with Mark Twain, and I could get McAvoy to come to that event, and that would draw a lot of people. And Andy, you could be selling the complete series there, and I'm sure you'd sell quite a few of them.
Yeah, Bonanza's always a big draw. Whenever at the senior center, whenever there's a gentleman, a husband and wife couple here, and I don't remember their names. You probably know, Steve, but they do a lot of presentations on the historical aspects of living in this area. But whenever they have a Bonanza talk, where they show an episode or they just talk about the history of Bonanza, the series, it's always really well attended by seniors in this area because, you know, they've
Yes,
grew up with it, you know, essentially. So any Bonanza type memorabilia or whatever is very popular. In the antique shops, Lori can talk about that. She's a antique shop aficionado and knows where all the stuff is. And there's always a Bonanza collection of stuff in those shops. So we'll have a little in the, well, we'll surprise you what's going to be in your bag, swag bag, but there might be a map to where all those shops are.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. We've
Yeah.
there's two actually Mark Twain episodes, one in the first season and one in the last season, I think, are close to the last 12th season, maybe. 26th Grave and Enter Mark Twain.
3, actually.
There's 3. What's the third one?
The Emperor Norton.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Okay.
They're
'Cause
easy,
we
better.
did for the Classic Film Festival a couple of years ago. We screened those too, and I think it was well attended. So yes, I agree, Steve. That would be a great thing to do, especially if McAvoy could be there.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, he's a dear friend. I orchestrated his final performance at Piper's, and we sold that out. I don't know if you made that deal or not. Were you there?
I was not here that weekend, but I would have been there if I was in town.
Yeah. Yeah, we had 327. We sold the whole building out. We had 327 people. And it was recorded. I had PBS came and recorded it. And it's I think it's on YouTube, his
Okay.
final performance.
I will put that in the newsletter for people to take a look.
Yeah, and I can send you the link to that, Dee.
Okay, terrific. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it. So any questions or any information that you haven't received yet that well, I understand the issue with the newsletter, but we'll get that to you. But if there's questions that you have that I can answer, Lori and I can answer, and Ginger and Andy, we'll get that information out. So just let us know, either email us or say what you need now, and I can make a record of it so we can get information to you. Is there anything in particular you want to know about? Just let me know.
And unmute yourself first before you speak.
Yeah. Good point.
Somebody did let me know that I think Southwest now is actually starting to have sales on September flights. So anybody in the US, I know there's some things going on with Southwest, but they do fly into Reno. So, and they sometimes have some good flights. They don't have any, I don't know that any airline has a direct flight to Reno. I could be wrong
You
about
can't
that.
fly anywhere out of Reno, either in or out, without going someplace else first.
Vegas or Phoenix. Well, at least you get to go through some cool places if you got
Yeah.
stuck, I suppose.
Delta
Vegas-
has, flying from Greensboro, North Carolina, Delta has one that goes to 3 different stops around the Southwest before it and it goes all the way to LA and then back to Reno. And I said, no, if I'm going to tour, I'm going to drive, not fly.
Well, and even when I'm trying to go back to, or come home to Reno, or, you know, whatever, I have to sometimes go to Denver to
Yeah.
get
Uh-huh.
to Reno, you know.
Yeah, well, at least that's, well, depends on where you're coming from, whether that's on the way or beyond.
Yeah, but I hate to
But
fly
I
east
did
to
find
fly
one,
west.
we do have a flight. We haven't booked it yet, but there's one that goes through Atlanta for us, which is good. But it gets in very late at night. So we're going to book a local hotel and just crash when we get there.
That's a good idea with the time change.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. There's
Yeah,
the-
definitely. It'll be
there's
midnight with the
Sure
time
State.
change, midnight our
There's-
time.
2 hotels. I'll put that in the newsletter. There's 2 hotels right at the airport, and I will put
Oh,
that.
that'd be perfect. Yes, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I was going to have to hunt down something. So if you know of good
I
hotels
love
at the
information.
airport, that would be perfect.
Because
We just
when you
need it
wanna
for that one
fly-
night.
Yeah, when you want to fly out of Reno, usually all the flights are at like 5 a.m. So a lot of people will go and spend the night before
Yeah.
and then take the
Our
shuttle.
our home flight is actually the night before, and we will be flying through the night and getting back into about 9:30 at home time in the morning. So we'll be
Josie,
flying
you had
overnight.
you had raised your hand, Josie.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. Maybe it's a stupid question, but I am landing in San Francisco and rent a car there. How long is the drive from San Francisco to Carson City? Because I have a flight from 11 hours and then I have to drive.
Ginger, you maybe know this better than I know. It's 2
3
hours.
hours. Well, that might be to North Lake Tahoe, so it might be closer to 4, but we can Google that for you, but
3.5, because I'll put that information in as well. So let me write down.
I know I did a tour once that went
It's
from
2
I think
hours to it's 2 hours to Sacramento. And so it's probably what, an hour and a half from Sacramento to
Okay,
San Francisco.
that I can do, I hope. Yeah.
Are you gonna go right from the plane to jumping in a car and driving
Yeah.
by yourself?
Ooh.
I can't wait for it, so I'm going.
Now that's a diehard Bonanza fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
can sleep
did
on the
that-
plane, right? You can
I
sleep.
did it the same thing that as I went to Waycross for Purnell's birthplace. I was in Jacksonville after a 6-hour flight and a 7-hour delay, and then have to drive in the middle of the night from Jacksonville to Waycross for the first time.
Wow.
So
Ooh.
it was terrible. Sometimes I was on the wrong side of the road, but I made it.
That's an interesting drive because I've gone
It is.
from Orlando because there's a lot of not dead space, but the dark
I know.
Dark space.
And
Dark
then
space, yes.
I lost my navigation, so I was so afraid to never made it, and I saw all the crocodiles coming to me in my mind. So, but I made it. So I can make also. That's a highway. So that's
that you can do anything, right? You're
Yeah.
all
Thank goodness we have GPS now.
yes.
but text one of us when you've landed just so we
Yeah.
can, be able to send out the posse if we don't find you in a reasonable
Good for you. I will do. I do. No problem.
up the ponies and go after you.
Yeah.
And I'm a night person, so if somebody's flying in late and needs a ride to the hotel, I can be happy to come get you.
And
So,
I'm very much a morning person, so anybody needs a ride to
early
the airport.
morning, I
we're
leave
good at
for,
that,
let's
so
see, this way, for Ginger. Early morning for Ginger. I'll take late night. So,
we've got you covered. So just don't be afraid to ask because we'll help you out.
hi
Yeah.
Judy, I see you now. I didn't see you before.
Ellen said there is a airport shuttle with some information in the chat. So if anybody wants to make note of that.
Mhm.
She's staying at the Best Western. She says that one has a free shuttle 24 hours per day, so that might be something to look at, Robin. Maybe they'll let
Oh,
you, and then we can just pick you up. The Best Western's like right next door, I think.
It's right
So
there. There's two
okay.
hotels. There's one's the Hilton and one's the Best Western.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
have
we're
all that
gonna
information.
we're gonna rent a car. So if we could get a shuttle to the hotel and then the next morning pick up the car, that would be nice.
just make sure, I was gonna say, oh, that's true. Just make sure, because I don't know that they have their car rental places are open that you're getting in at midnight, or you're getting in at midnight.
We'll get in it'd be 9:30-ish,
Okay.
somewhere in there, Reno time, and that's midnight our time. So we're gonna be dead on our feet,
Gotcha.
flying from
So
Atlanta.
you're
That's a
not gonna
long
go down,
flight.
you're not coming down to Carson at that point, because I'm happy to pick you
No.
up, take you down to Carson.
No, we'll stay in Reno that night and
Okay.
pick up the car the next morning and might do some stuff on the way down. That's on Wednesday. We're coming in the day
Oh,
ahead.
good. Okay.
So we'll have a free time. So we'll probably do some stuff around Reno, some other things, whatever we want to
Right.
do on the way into Carson.
I'll add information for that area as well.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions or things that you want that we can look into for you? Because if you have the question, obviously other people will as well. Hi, Ellen.
Yeah, I'm gonna be staying afterwards several extra days. I'm coming in Wednesday night, as I said in the chat. But I'm staying through the next week. So I will be renting a car eventually, but I don't think I mean, it would be good if we had a list of people who are going to have cars and when they were coming in, and maybe we could, like, I don't think I'm going to need a ride. I mean, rent a car just to get to to Carson City.
Yeah.
But they do have a taxi service that I think it's like $60 or $70. But if somebody's going to be going, and I could catch a ride, I would
Absolutely.
appreciate
We'll absolutely pick you up. Just let us know when you're arriving. And
Yeah.
we'll fix you.
Well, it'll be I'll be there on ready to go on Thursday, I guess. Thursday anytime during the day. I know y'all are gonna be busy, so maybe somebody else will be coming in and we could share a cab or an Uber.
Absolutely. And we'll coordinate that schedule. Like if 3 people are coming in the morning, we can make a time, you know what I mean, that we would then pick up all 3 people.
Yeah.
So once,
You know what I mean?
once people
We're-
get their travel plans in line, then maybe we could have a schedule of so and so will be coming in and would
Yes.
like to share a ride or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
All of that is being put together, but we don't have the information yet because
Yeah.
people pretty much have not made reservations. But as they make the reservation and they let us know, then all of that is in the matrix,
Yeah.
we're going to have, so we can coordinate that. And also for those people that are renting a car and are willing to assist with getting people to events and have room in their car, like my car holds 5 and other people have 4 or 5 people that they can have in the car. And then we will our goal is also to be able to assist the driver with gas for that. So
Oh, no problem. I've been there till I am coming on Sunday, and I have a big American car, so there's room enough.
okay, that's great. Well, just let Lori's coordinating that.
Yeah.
But you can send the information to me as well because
I will
talk
do.
every day.
Yeah.
We'll do that. So yeah, there's a lot of information to be gathered and then to be assembled and disseminated, but that's the goal of the newsletters is to and we'll get the email glitch straightened out, and I can also post the link to the newsletter on Brand and Boomers, if that helps for people. Any other questions? Andy, do you have anything you want to know or can tell us?
I have received communications from people who have expressed their intention to attend the convention and then change their mind and said that they have decided not to attend for, I guess, lack of a better reason, quote, political reasons, unquote. And I address that issue briefly now, I guess, for people who are not here, but for those who may or hopefully will be listening to a recording of this in the future and who live outside of the United States. As I understand it, the reasons are, generally speaking, objections to the policies politically of the current federal administration.
Yeah.
And certainly people are entitled to their political opinions, and that includes people who are outside of the United States, who are indirectly impacted by policies within the United States. And I would just say to those people who are on the fence that this is about as apolitical, non-political an organization as you can imagine. And Bonanza traditionally has attracted admirers and fans all over the world from every political spectrum, from the extreme left to the extreme right and everything in between. So although I certainly wouldn't want to stifle anyone's political interests and opinions, I would urge that this is not the most appropriate venue to be registering a political statement.
Well, it's not just that though. They're
that.
taking people who don't have hotel reservations and saying that these people are going to try to sneak in and get a job, undocumented, whatever. And so if you have hotel reservations, make sure you have all that information available for the customs or immigration to see, because otherwise they did send some people home
Yeah.
that didn't have reservations.
It's not about the Americans. It's about when you are living in Europe and you hear all the stuff. If I had to decide now, because I already booked my flight last year, if I had to decide now, are you going to the convention, then I would have said probably no. Because you can say, okay, you hear a lot of people who are sending back, but I find the American customers the people that are working there before Trump, they are very rude and asking the stupidest questions. And now it's even worse. And you're feeling not welcome. That's the problem. And now I have already booked, so I will go through with it. But if it will get much worse, all the restrictions, then then I don't know what I will do. No, it's very emotional, this, because it is about all our feelings. I have in my family, I have a son, a daughter, and a husband who is autistic. And what now is saying in the States about those people, that's so terrible and it hurts. And then go to a convention and having fun. I know, I want all to meet you. I want all to see you and speak to you. But that is also what's going on in your mind. And it's not getting less, it's getting more. That's the problem. And that's what people outside America is feeling. And that has nothing to do with you or Ginger or what you are organized, because that's beautiful. And Bonanza is definitely not political, but it is the feeling you have that you are not welcome and that there are people who are looking for you. And that's the problem. It's a feeling. And that's in my head, I can say, don't be so stupid. You go to lovely people, you have a lovely time, but that's also playing. That's it. It's not about political. It's the feeling you have, and you're not feeling welcome.
Well, I think that I would caution people to not paint with a broad brush, and I won't deny that there are people who are narrow-minded and who have those kinds of thoughts that you are describing. But I would also say, as a practical matter, if one declares his or her intention to travel to the United States for a temporary recreational period, and one is granted a travel visa to do that, then that should be more than sufficient guarantee that not only will that person be welcome to conduct business in the United States, but will be able to leave as they wish under their own terms and not forcibly kicked out. So I think there is a perception that is unpleasant and unfair, and it is unfortunate that perception persists. And I suspect it may persist as long as the current administration is in office. I would also point out that, at least for the moment, according to the United States Constitution, the current administration can only last until the balance of this term ends, which is in less than 4 years. So I would just reiterate, we as a nation have been around for 250 odd years, and the political winds change, and they will continue to change, to blow one way or the other. But I would urge you not to be swayed by the current bleak perceptions that permeate the media, and think about coming to the United States temporarily, and you'll be able to come in and come out without difficulty and enjoy what Bonanza has to offer.
Now, I know, but I have to make sure what I pack in my bag, because I have, for example, shoes with the rainbow. I have a few buttons on my jean jacket, and I have to make sure to remove them. And that's stupid. And that's not the feeling I like.
Well, why would you feel that you have to remove that? Certainly that's nothing that would be confiscated when you're entering the United States. And also the chances are minimal that you would be stopped and you would be searched. You'd go through an X-ray machine.
I know the drill. I know the drill.
Yeah. So I share your concerns and your sympathies, but it's a little like trying to swat a fly with a machine gun. That might be a
Yeah,
bit
but
of
if you're the one that gets hit, I mean,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
concerns. It's not a normal situation, even if you do what you're supposed to do. But I would say definitely make sure you have all your reservations written out on a piece of paper. Say this is the hotel I'm staying at, and show them your plans.
Yeah.
And but
I know.
you intend to come.
That's
I mean,
why
I
I'm coming. That's why I'm still coming. Yeah.
All right. Well, that being said, I would like to believe that we'll have the best case scenario, but if anybody is considering traveling from another country, obviously it's let your conscience be your guide, because you're the one that's to handle the situation and be the one that has to do it. So obviously I hope things will change in the next few months, that people will feel more comfortable and more okay. We're obviously a lot of us are praying for a better situation or a more comfortable situation. So for now, we're having these meetings. We're planning and forward with what we're doing. Josie, I applaud you for wanting to come and planning to come. We will take you under our wing and protect you.
Thanks.
Thank you. So with that being said, did anybody else have any other questions or comments regarding the actual event or registration, or any issues that you had as far as registration or anything like that? Anybody? For anybody who may have joined us a little bit late, the deadline, if you are thinking of even a refund, is August. And then as far as the payment plan, I think that was you can pay a quarter of it or a third of it now, and then there's obviously the final third is due that August deadline, and then is it July? I think it's July is the second one. And those fees obviously are going to help reserve as far as the banquet is concerned for our numbers. So it's not money that's going to us, it's money that's going to make sure that these events. Annette had brought up a really good point too, which I wanted to point out about the ride share situation as well. So, obviously we'll take care of our drivers and things like that. So, we'll make sure we have a really good list as far as who drivers are, how many seats are in those cars. And if we need to keep the lifts more private, as far as people we know for sure that have already registered and are planning on coming, I can set up a private website page that only we would have the people that have already registered have a special password access to. So if we need to keep that information private, but I can discuss that with you and D.
Maybe we could have a legal, something for people to sign if they're going to ride with someone, that they will not, they would release them of any legal liability if there's an accident, that sort of thing. It might help alleviate worry for the drivers.
Yeah, and we can consider, creating placard too, so we know whose drivers or what, if we need to get that, complex too, as far as who's assigned to which vehicles and things like that. But we'll obviously get all that a little more coordinated once we get a little bit closer. We're still a few months out here. Right now, we're just trying to get everybody locked in as far as
Well,
who's.
also, for those that like, oh, I want to do the train museum, you know, and wants to go with other people that are interested in the same thing, that will facilitate those groupings, you know, for people who want to do certain things together, because
Like if a group is going to something else and we've got a couple different
yeah,
functions going on.
not everybody has to do everything at the same time, you know. There may be people who say, I've been to Virginia City, you know, 800 times, I don't want to go to Virginia City. I don't know why anybody would say that, but I mean,
There's Bonanza days. We have
there's Bonanza days, because now we have Bonanza days possibly happening.
game
But, you
changer.
know, or maybe they've been on the MS Dixie for, you know, a lot of times.
Yeah.
There'll be something else that can be done, you know, during that time. So
800 times? That's nothing. I'm sure Steve has been there more than 800 times.
Almost daily.
But who's counting, right?
right.
Yeah.
But the
So,
idea
so
is
on the
just
subject
because-
of drivers, I'm not following. You're talking about those amongst the attendees who are generously volunteering their time and vehicles to take people from one place to another?
Well, when you pay and register, you're sent to, after you've paid, you're sent to a link to fill out a form. And one of the questions on the form is if you're going to have a car and if you are willing, you know, if you have other seats and are willing to drive other people. Because
Oh.
since not everybody has to rent a car, some people could save some funds and be able to ride with other people to function. So that's more the coordination for that. So
And the
don't-
fact that, as I say, just because we're doing maybe the train on whatever Friday or whatever day we're doing it, there may be people that don't want to do that and want to go up to Lake Tahoe or go do something else.
or even just drive direct to Virginia City and not take the train
We
ride.
will help facilitate and coordinate that.
And we have had, of the people that have already signed up, quite a few have already been very generous as far as being willing to drive other people or give rides
Good.
to people. So that's very effective.
Yeah.
So don't feel, if you're not comfortable doing that, don't feel obligated that you need to sign up for that. You can put no, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're not gonna call you out or anything. We just, it's for those that feel comfortable doing that. So, all right. Anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns?
You know, Gary McDonald wrote to me, he had an interesting idea about contacting the people at the Thunderbird organization, which has inherited, if you wish, the pieces that comprise the Ponderosa Ranch House that was built in the mid-1960s, and contrary to rumor, still exists, although in pieces, but ready to be reassembled somewhere someday. And Gary was wondering if the Thunderbird people would be interested in somehow participating because of what I just mentioned, because in addition to the facade that constitutes the house, they have a lot of, I guess memorabilia might be the word, but Mr. Anderson, who owned it for many years, was something of an acquirer, and so he acquired a great number of Western artifacts like saddles and tack related things and pieces of old automobiles and farm equipment, some of which has a tenuous connection to the Bonanza television series, but certainly was a part of the Ponderosa Ranch tourist attraction. So does anyone have an opinion about that? Think it's a good idea? Think it's a hopeless idea? Is it intriguing, et cetera, et cetera?
It's an intriguing idea, and they have the facade of the house. I talked with Todd about having them relocate that and put it together in Virginia City. That's a possibility. And Bill Anderson was a friend of mine. I spent many New Year's Eves at his home, and he does have quite a collection.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And it's here, located here in Dayton now.
Oh, is it really? Is it actually set up somewhere? Is it being stored somewhere?
Yeah, he still had a warehouse here, and his wife Sharon, when Bill passed away, she got remarried, and they still have the collection. It's all indoors. It's in good shape.
That might be-
So
Who's got their mic
that's
open?
interesting, Andy, about the building, because since Todd mentioned creating a facade of it, if it actually exists, maybe we can make arrangements to put it together in Virginia City.
Yeah, I don't know what the logistics are. I know that it's something that's been on the back burner for a while, but the issue is, I guess, getting the ability to put it back together and to do so within the approvals of the local municipal code, as far as electricity and other building related factors, which apparently the original structure, um, when constructed, did not abide by those rules and regulations, or perhaps they were not in existence or enforced at that time. So as I understand it, that's been sort of an obstacle to having it put back together, among other reasons. But for maybe something temporary, I don't know.
Yeah, I can look into it for sure.
Okay.
Ask you with that, Steve.
I'd be happy to do that.
Okay. Anybody else got anything they want to?
I just was gonna say, if Andy wants to give me the name and the contact information, I can email him.
Oh, the guy at the Thunderbird?
Yes.
You got that?
And I
Andy?
had,
I got that.
So maybe coordinate with Steve, and who's you're gonna reach out to the people that have the collection, Steve?
Yeah, I
Okay.
will, and I know the people at the Thunderbird as
Okay.
well.
Maybe coordinate with him, with Steve, Lori.
okay,
Yeah,
He already
Kevin.
knows the guy. He might have a better shot at it.
okay. Is it the same one that talked at the Ponderosa too?
No, this is Steven that's here on this call right here that runs.
Oh, yeah, right. I know that, but the
You're
contact.
talking about the contact. I don't know. What's the guy's name, Steve, that's the contact?
Shoot.
The
'Cause we
answer to
did
your
have a
question,
guy-
Lori, is yes.
Is it the same guy? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's that director of the Thunderbird Lodge.
Okay,
I'm drawing a blank on his name this morning, which
that's okay.
Gary knows,
I don't have
but
all
he's
my
in the
notes in front
dark
of me
and,
either.
he's muted. I don't know if he wants to tell us.
Gary might know.
He's sort of under the
Yeah.
witness protection program, it looks like there. It's a little-
Yeah, Gary had reached
Yeah.
out to me too, so we've been
It's-
emailing back
Gary?
and forth.
Yeah, Tom Watson is the guy at the Thunderbird.
that's it.
Okay.
Glad you
Okay.
remembered.
Thank you.
Okay, go back to muting.
Okay,
Not you, Lori.
Oh,
If you want to mute too, you can, but I was talking to Gary. No, I'm just kidding, Gary. You can unmute again.
okay. Well, if there's no other last questions, the good news is the date next month for Adam fans will be easy to mark because it is May 17th, Saturday, May 17th, which for as many of you know would have been Purnell's birthday. So
No, it isn't.
I said would have been.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It's Andy,
May
what?
17th, did you say? There's nothing significant about May 17th, dear, except if you were Mrs. Roberts, you were anxious because you were going to give birth the next day.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
anyway,
who's counting?
apparently you are.
It's the same weekend.
Yeah, all right. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
18th. Okay. Well, anyways, there you go.
Yeah,
We celebrate the day before because you'll know
all
it-
right.
that's true. It is the 18th. I don't know why I was thinking the 17th. Anyway,
You were flush with excitement over the subject matter.
but also know that the Bonanza Convention online.com website, there is a button to click to go to the Zoom meeting. So if you want to rewatch either last month's or this month's, or have the link for next month's, that does connect directly to it as well. So you can bookmark that page. on the website, and that's easy to reference back to it. Also, we'll make sure I know I should have posted something on the Facebook page as far as reminding everybody about this meeting, and life just goes too fast. What can I say?
Mhm.
But yeah, but I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate those of you who are taking our leap of faith and have already registered. That's excellent. We're definitely looking forward to seeing everybody. And again, if you have any additional questions between now and the next meeting, you can reach out to Dee or you can reach out to Lori, which I think everybody should have her email address.
Yeah.
but,
Ginger, are all the emails, addresses for everybody in, the, emails you send out?
Well, we try to keep as many as we can private, so usually they're sent out as a blind carbon copy, so it'll look like it's going back to Lori, but any email that you have received would go directly to Lori. As far
Oh,
as
okay.
some people, we're not, again, privacy wise, I'm not sure that everybody wants their email addresses all sent out there. So if you're looking for somebody specific, I would encourage you to reach out to Lori and she can pass that information along
Okay.
to you.
Okay.
And again, and then if everything falls in place for the Bonanza days, obviously we'll start adding that information to our newsletters and things like that. So that we
I
can,
think that'll drive a lot more participants for sure.
oh, absolutely. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
you'll get that coordinated. sooner than later.
I'll resend the April newsletter, and we will have one in May as well. We'll do it monthly instead of bi-monthly. And we'll get that out and straightened out to make sure that we have the correct email addresses for everybody. Robin, I'll send you.
Okay.
And then also I'll try and get a link posted so that if you want to download it directly from the site or the Bonanza Convention Facebook page, you could do that as well, just so people know when it's coming out, if that's what your reference is. But I know a lot of you are probably on Bonanza Brand, which is one of the websites where there's Bonanza Brand, Bonanza Legacy, but definitely
I don't know
Bonanza
anything
Brand
about Bonanza Legacy, but Bonanza Brand and Bonanza Boomers.
and Boomers. Okay.
So
If you don't
both the
belong to either of those
information's on
lists,
both of them.
and they're both pretty active, so those are good sources as well. All right. Okay.
Right.
Well, great to see everybody. It's always wonderful. Everybody
Okay.
check in, make sure everybody's still doing
Enjoy
great.
the rest of your day.
I'll see
Thank
you
you
next
for-
month on the day before Purnell's birthday.
Yes.
Everybody have a great weekend and we'll see you next month.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody.